Right, here's the Fuji GFX 100RF. As soon as you open the box, with a warranty card and a Capture One offer. My particular case, who knows what they're going to be in the future. And right inside, we've got some accessories over here. Here's the included lens hood. On this side, we've got the adapter ring. Pull this whole thing out. Here's the Fuji battery. We've got our neck strap. You also have an included filter for weather sealing. Charging cable. And now to the camera itself. And this right here, Fuji GFX 100RF. Let's bring it in closer. Nice shiny screen, you could see me in it. Two memory cards, UHS Type 2, and there's your battery door. With the included hood, it does extend it a little bit, but now this is a weather sealed camera. It's really beautiful, really simply stunning. Man, this camera's nice. It's so quiet. That leaf shutter, it's so light, and like to think that there's a medium format 100 megapixel sensor inside of this. That's crazy. Let's see. Just getting some shots of the grass here with the light. That backlit grass, it's beautiful. I don't have much time left before sunset, but I'll make sure get a few shots in. Too tempting. Too tempting. So my main reservation with this camera has been that it doesn't have IBIS, so no internal in-body image stabilization. There's an electronic stabilization when you're shooting in video mode, and it's only got a 28mm equivalent lens, and I don't really like 28mm photography. Never really have. 35 is about as wide as I like to go, and if I did decide to keep this camera and not send it back, I'd basically be living in 35mm mode, so I'd lose out on that resolution, which is one of the main reasons why this camera is enticing. I haven't officially looked at the photos yet from the GFX 100RF, except on the back of the screen. It's fun to shoot with. Reminds me a lot of shooting with the X100VI, with a few added benefits like the crop modes, which are fun to mess around with. As far as workflow goes, it's a lot to get used to that 28mm and fixed 28mm. So first impressions, Amazing quality, beautiful camera to work with. I mean, fit and finish is flawless. It just feels so premium. But if we're only basing it off of photo quality, you'll have to let me know in the comments. I just know for me personally, not having IBIS, not gonna help on windy days or days where I want a handheld, slow shutter speeds. And 28mm fixed, I wish it was it's a little tighter. We're out with the GFX 100RF again. This is day 2 of testing it out. I've had a chance to review all the photos from last night when I first brought it out, first photo shoot at the park. I gotta say, it creates some beautiful images. The lens is so sharp and so characterful and clean. The resolution is just mind-blowing. But I do have some issues. There's a box fan, and I don't know why. That's interesting. And interesting things make fun photos. Okay, I'm nearing the end of my photo walk. I haven't taken a ton of photos with the GFX 100RF. Can we just call it the 100RF? It's too long of a name. My thoughts on it remain the same. It's super fun to work with, very fun to use. The photos that I'm seeing through the frame anyway are really high quality. You can't complain about, you know, the picture or anything. But what I can complain about is same as last time, except I would say one-hand shooting is not as easy as like on my X100VI. This one tends to, I don't know, just because it's heavier and larger, it doesn't sit as comfortably in my hand one-handed. Now this isn't gonna be the problem for most people because I'm holding a video camera in this hand and trying to shoot with one hand. You know, if you've got two hands, no problem. But I would just say that specifically, it's a little uncomfortable to work with one-handed. Noticing it especially today because it's very warm outside, so I'm a little less comfortable. And yeah, 28mm. It's just as difficult to work with for me. I don't know, it's that wider field of view. It makes it hard to take a clean shot in this environment for me. I think it'd be really good for like environmental portraits or even shots of action in the city with a bunch of people. But for what I'm trying to do, a little bit more of a landscape approach to street photography, there's a lot to see, very busy photos. And I guess I could crop, but if I'm gonna crop, why bother shooting at 100 megapixels? Anyway, so that's the end of day 2. Fujifilm GFX 100RF, Fujifilm X100VI. I just wanted to show you side by side, since I have both, the comparison between them. It's honestly not much larger or heavier than the APS-C X100VI body, but something about the usability of this camera, the size, the weight, the feel in hand, maybe it's because it's familiar to me, having used it extensively for almost a year now. The fact that I've accessorized it a bit with a soft shutter button and a thumb grip, and I just know it so well that this camera instantly was familiar to me, but equally confusing to me. A little bit taller, a little bit deeper, button placement a little bit more spread out, and then you add that lack of IBIS, having a wider field of view, so I hold it up to my eye and just feel like I wasn't seeing things correctly. When I see something I want to photograph, I first compose it with my eyes, and then I pull the camera out and look through the viewfinder. And so that 35 to 40 range is very familiar to me. Not so with the 28. So I want to talk really quickly why I've decided to go ahead and return this camera as I'm packing it up. I'm going to roll in my favorite photos I captured with the RF right now. Hopefully you can see why these photos are my favorites. I really loved how they turned out. I really loved the resolution. This first panoramic frame, my favorite part of it is the little flower. I think it's a daisy. Sitting there in the water, you can still see it nice, crisp, clear, but it's floating on the surface among the lily pads, and I just really like that. It's a little piece of something in there. And the reality, the simple reality, is I probably could have gotten the same photos with this camera and been just as happy with them, because resolution aside, this is still a phenomenal camera. It has a very similar focal length, 35 to 28, pretty similar, but just so much more usable for me. And because I've had this camera for a while and because I've shot with it a lot, I'm very comfortable with it. Your mileage may vary. You may love that camera. You might like the focal length, you might like the range that it has, the slightly wider field of view. It does work for a lot of situations. I think one ideal scenario, street photography, like traditional street photography, that would work perfectly. 28 millimeters, that's an iconic focal range for street photography. If you're a fan of the Leica Q series, like the Q2 or the Q3, not the Q343, this camera's gonna be great for you. If you're a collector and have the funds for a camera like this, again, this camera's probably going to be great for you. I, however, don't have the funds to throw at new cameras anytime a new fancy one shows up. I have to be much more selective. If I wanted to buy this, I would have to sell some stuff. And that's just the reality of the situation that I'm in currently. Now, if you ignore the focal range that I'm not so good at, which in all honesty, I should get better at. 28 millimeters is a perfectly reasonable focal length. There's a reason professionals shoot with it all the time. I should get better at it. The real sticking point to me is these photos here, these two photos. One of them was shot handheld at 1/30th of a second. And you can see, when you look at it full size, it's not too bad. This is the raw photo, and I was able to pull so much detail out of it. It was really kind of astounding to me just how much usable detail was in that photo. But what you don't see is when you zoom right in, it is very blurry, unusably so. And that lack of sharp detail is all due to the lack of IBIS. And handheld at 1/30th, that's a pretty slow shutter speed. So not being able to shoot 1/30th might seem like a small thing, but the more important detail is this next photo. This was a situation where I was shooting at, I think, 1/60th. I wasn't shooting extensively slow, but what was happening was I was standing on a bridge. I was holding it on my elbows on a railing to prop it up, to keep it stable, taking pictures, and someone else walked across the bridge and caused a little bit of vibration on the bridge, and just that much ruined the entire photo. And the reality is, when you're an outdoor photographer, the wind can cause your camera to vibrate. During the beginning of summer, my area gets very windy. In the fall, we get windy again. I had a lot of fun working with it. I don't own a tape dispenser, so I have to use scissors if you're wondering. All of these things could be overcome with some time, maybe, with some effort, with some practice. But when it comes right down to it, I really can't afford it. And that's the bottom line. If you're curious as to why I bought it in the first place, oh my. I think it was one of those situations where I saw it was in stock. I know how hard it is to get one of these, and I love my X100VI. So I was just curious. Curiosity got the better of me. I ordered it because I'm like, I've got a credit card. I'm gonna order this and just see what the hype is about. I'll make a video, share my thoughts. That's what a YouTube channel's for, right? Played with it for a couple days. Only shot about 75 photos. And let me just say, the images coming out of this camera through the lens, phenomenal, beautiful. I loved every photo that turned out well. Just the crisp detail, the characteristics of the lens. Using the camera was so enjoyable and such a fun experience, similar to shooting with this. But yeah, if money wasn't an object, I'd keep this as just a collector's piece because it's so cool. But I can't afford to do that, so RF, going back to B&H. Well, those are my thoughts on the Fujifilm GFX 100RF. Phenomenal camera, just not for me. Hope it was helpful. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a comment down below. Sounds like a trash truck is on its way, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Oh, and if you want a camera like this, get the X100 series from, yeah, they're better for me anyway.